Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to the Truth Talk podcast. I'm back here with MI.
What's up, guys?
In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the former music video director exposing the music industry. Let's get right into it. On this channel, we often speak about the obvious gangster agenda being pushed by mainstream hip-hop artists. We have talked about the destructive effects of genres like gangster rap and now drill music that is currently having a devastating effect in the Bronx, where I was born and raised. We spoke about how the industry is set up in a way that allows big music executives to monetize and make billions off the destruction of the youth in urban communities by pushing gangsterism through the artists they sign to their labels. Most people would defend gangster rap and drill music, stating that these artists are just rapping about their lives and their environment. The thing is, we already learned on this channel that this is far from the truth. In previous videos, we spoke about the rumored secret hip-hop meeting that took place in the 90s. The meeting was allegedly between the biggest music executives in the industry that were discussing the future of hip-hop. In that meeting, the executives were instructed by some new investors to only sign and market gangster rappers. The reason for this was that the new investors were allegedly invested into the private prison industry and wanted to encourage a specific group of people to live a criminal lifestyle in order to see a rise in incarcerations. These investors wanted to make a generation of criminals so they can incarcerate them in privately owned prisons and make billions off them. The artist plays one of the most important roles in making all of this happen, selling out and choosing to sell their people right along with it. Most gangster rappers that made it big were just playing a role to sell records and push the gangster agenda. We saw this with groups like NWA, one of the most legendary gangster rap hip-hop groups ever. In NWA's music, they would often rap about a gangster lifestyle that most of the members didn't ever live. Most of the members were studio gangsters, rapping about being a gangster just to push an agenda. The industry signed NWA for the sole purpose of pushing gangster rap and inspiring millions to live the lyrics of their songs. If you want to know more about NWA, I did a full video on Dr. Dre where I speak about NWA and the gangster rap agenda. We can see examples of this throughout the years, since the music executives look for new gangster rappers, signing them and promoting them throughout generations. The entire 90s consisted of gangster rappers. In the 2000s, 50 Cent pushed the gangster rap agenda to new heights and became the biggest gangster rapper out. In the late 2000s and early 2010s, Lil Wayne rapped about the same gangster rap agenda, and he was the biggest rapper out. Then drill was born in the 2010s, which created a whole new problem. Now in the 2020s, we're seeing just what a problem gangster rap has truly evolved into, with this gangster rap wave of artists. While these young rappers are destroying each other and their communities, the executives are in their mega mansions, collecting billions off all the destruction the music they push causes. These kids that have been brainwashed to destroy each other don't know that all this pain they're going through is done so that these rich people can become even richer and live like gods on earth. The industry is sacrificing those at the bottom so they can have what they want at the top. These rappers sell out and choose to portray gangsters because they know people have been manipulated into thinking being a gangster is cool and honorable. They also do it because they know if they don't, they won't get signed. So many of the biggest artists are guilty of being studio gangsters, like Tupac, who we spoke about in the past. Tupac created his thug image to sell records when in reality, he was a theater student. The youth where I came from in the Bronx are convinced that being a thug and a gangster is something to strive for. I have seen so many of my friends lose it all because of living a lifestyle that they were influenced to live by these rappers. Someone who feels similar to me when it comes to the industry is this former industry music video director, Robby Starbuck, who after Takeoff passed, he decided to post this video.
In light of seeing that a rapper from Migos, I just wanted to go ahead and make a video about something I have a unique experience in. So I directed a bunch of rappers, people like Gucci Mane, Snoop Dogg, Lil Yachty, the list goes on and on and on, okay? I learned a lot of things, and I have left the industry largely over my political beliefs, but there is something I want to impart to people to hopefully, make some sort of change happen. So I have a challenge to rappers. I know some of you still follow me. I know a bunch of the celebrity blogs still follow me from trying to get news from music videos and things like that. Here's the truth. The truth is this: a bunch of young black male rappers keep thing. You know who's not done? Record executives. The executives that push for them to continue to make songs and create a culture that is obsessed with death, drugs, and period. The industry is obsessed with it, but those record executives, they're not done. Because they don't push this culture on their own people, but they're encouraging you to push it on yours. They're paying you handsomely to do it. The reality is, I know a lot of you are good people, you're family guys. You're not the image that you put out there to the world. Why? Why don't you be the example? Stand up. I challenge you. Be the example. Make music about the culture you want to see. Don't just get online today and talk about how, whenever a rapper makes it, his own people take him down. Don't just make those videos. Don't be sad. Don't rest in peace. None of that stuff. Be the change you want to see. Inspire it in your community. Reach out to other rappers and say, we have to stop. We're being used. You've been used for a long time. They create this paradigm to make you believe that you're so important and your celebrity status is worth so much, but in truth, you're a pawn in their game and you always have been. The government has wanted to hold down communities of people in different ways through different methods for a very long time. Their method in the Black community has been to use entertainment to create a culture obsessed with death, drug, and money, so that they could create a false paradigm of what happiness and what success really was. And in doing so, they created a world that also made people more dependent on government, and as a result, gave themselves more power. The record executives that push you to do this, to go and continue to profit off the backs of your work, they're in cahoots with the elite. They want you to think you're important. In truth, you're just doing their dirty work for them, so stop. They've empowered you in ways that are real. You have an audience, you have platforms, you have the ability to make change. So go against the grain together. They're more afraid of you all together standing up and creating a new culture that's built around family, faith, freedom, doing the right thing, valuing life, than they are of anything else. So I challenge you, use your power to do the right things.
As you heard for yourself, Robert speaks nothing but the truth, and his words mirrors everything that we've been bringing up on this channel. Robert starts his video by challenging the rappers to stop being studio gangsters. He tells these rappers he knows they're not living that gangster lifestyle they rap about. He encourages them to instead rap about the life that they actually live. He brings up the fact that the artists keep on passing while the label executives stay living. He mentioned how the record executives don't push the gangster rap agenda onto their own people. He speaks how only rap music pushes death to its listeners. This is very important, as it's something we often speak about on this channel. Gangster rap was solely created to push the Masonic agenda. What's sad is that they succeeded in brainwashing the entire generation into willingly destroying themselves. When I was much younger, growing up in the Bronx, I myself was a victim of this agenda. I wanted to be just like the rappers, and I didn't care of the consequences. Sadly, most people fail to realize this until it's too late. The Bronx is literally turning into Gotham from Batman, and the city is taken over by crime. At the head of this all, we can find drill music and the popular drill rappers telling their fans to drill and catch bodies in every song. These kids are rapping about the real people who passed and convincing their fans to sing along to it. These are the role models for this generation. This is who the children in today's world are inspiring to be. That meeting is no myth. I believe it took place, and it's the reason why we are where we are today. Robert also demands that the rappers change what they rap about to save their own people. He tells them to rap about positive morals through their music instead of money, death, and destruction. I couldn't agree more with Robert, and it's the reason why I created Truth Records. Robert makes it clear that the music industry is working hand in hand with the elite, something that we already know. The Masons truly run the music industry, and their symbols are everywhere to prove it. This is their plan, and sadly, it's working perfectly. They don't want us to come together. They want us divided. It's the reason we see everyday people in urban communities destroying each other. They have divided us, using their mind games and manipulating us into being who they want us to be. Like Robert said, we need to be the change that they want to see in the industry. We can no longer promote destruction to our people for financial gain. We shouldn't show support to the music that is causing the destruction. We need to encourage these rappers to change their subject matter, because destruction isn't the only thing that happens in these communities. I lived in the Bronx for most of my life, and the Bronx isn't only about crime and pain. There's beauty in these communities that are getting overshadowed by the evil the devil is feeding to the world. The industry is expecting us to continue to accept this and support it. Let's show the industry that we have control and we no longer want to be influenced by their evil. A lot of the stuff that Robert is saying is literally the problem with our world, and we're noticing this day by day. Wouldn't you say, am I?
Yeah, I'll say that because, I see music. To me, music makes me feel a certain way when I hear it. I'm pretty sure it's like that with everybody. Depending on your mood, you hear a certain kind of song. And that song is going to, whether the certain mood that you're in is going to make you feel a certain kind of way and make you want to do something,
When you watch this director speaking about the situation, what came to your mind? Did you notice that it's true that the music affected you as a child when you were coming up? Did you notice that it affected people around you?
Of course, man. It affected the whole hood, the whole neighborhood, everybody I chill with, all my friends. we were only listening to gangster music. Yeah, we all listen to R&B and all that, but we grew up listening to that trap music. So we grew up to live that life that the rappers are rapping about. Feel me? Like we were living the life that they're rapping about, that they're not even close to living.
Exactly. And this is what Robert is saying. Robert is saying that it's not really only the rappers that want to do this. It's the industry. The industry is instructing the rappers, this is what we want from you. This is what you're going to rap about. And then you notice, the biggest rappers have always been what? Gangster rappers, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah. In hip-hop, it's always the gangsters, you know? You got your little J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar, but they got their little time here and there, but they not as popping as the Little Durks, the Kodak Blacks. You know what I mean? Like, it's a part of their whole plan. They know what they're doing. They brainwashing our kids to be programmed a certain way so they could grow up and be like, hey, let's pop these, let's pop that. Let's go sell this and do that. Go get our ops because they diss in my hood, or they got these kids in the hood hurting each other over projects that they live in or blocks that they live on. Doesn't even make sense. They fighting for something they don't even own.
Exactly. And it's what I was saying. It's how they divide us. That's exactly how they divide us. They create these fake problems that they make us fight over. Like, oh, you represent red, I represent blue. We had to destroy each other over it. You understand? They create these fake problems using the rappers to push the culture. I remember, like I said this before, Lil Wayne, one of the things that he pushed the most through his music was, I'm blood, in a gang, I'm this. So much people around that time, when I was growing up, while Lil Wayne was pushing this, wanted to be blood. Even people that weren't blood were speaking like if they were. This is the influence the music has on people. And you can see this. Even in suburban communities, you're starting to see the effect of hip hop because these suburban kids, they're even being influenced by it. They want to be like Lil Wayne. They want to be like Lil Durk. They want to be like the rapper, the gangster rapper, even though they never lived that life. But this is like the side effect of their agenda. Their agenda is even starting to spoil over into their communities that they don't want it in. This is when we see them start talking about, we have to stop the violence. We have to keep that influence out of our environment. But that's what they created.
This is when you see Lil Durk talking about he's gonna stop dissing all his dead ops and he's gonna start changing the way he raps. What you saying right there.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say. He's doing that now, though. When you think about the agenda as a whole, what would just happen to take off? Let's say none of it was a sacrifice or any of it. Let's say it was just some street things. This is exactly what hip-hop pushes, though. Hip-hop, if you listen to a rap song, what happened to take off is what technically is supposed to happen every day, according to rap music. Hip-hop tells you, oh, if someone's messing with you, take them out. Don't let no one mess with you. Don't let no one act. You got to act like you're the toughest man in the world. Why? Is because they're the ones to gain. If they truly own the prison systems, if the same people that are invested in the music industry are invested in the private prison industry, why wouldn't they want to promote the crime if they're going to gain from it? If they're going to literally make money off of us destroying ourselves? What's plaguing our community, where me and you come from, where me and you spend our lives in, is this gangster agenda. What's had the most devastating effect, and that we're seeing mainly today, to this day, is the gangster rap agenda, which has turned into drill music. If you see with drill music, we've spoken about drill several times, but that's just the evolution of what NWA did. And it's crazy to think that NWA was just acting. They were literally just actors. What did Ice Cube do after he was done rapping? He started acting. He started making movies and telling stories because that's what he did in his music. It was all false. They weren't even speaking about things that they truly went through. They were glorifying evil because the record industry came to them, offered them a check to sell themselves out, and they sold themselves and then took their community right along with it. This is what the problem is with this industry. If we don't hold it accountable, if we just continue to call these people legends when they're not truly legends, they're, in all honesty, they're just sellouts. They sold us out. Our generation, our people, they sold them out. People that come from an urban community, that comes from these cities that they have to deal with the kids that are literally brainwashed by this music to act a certain way that they wouldn't have done if they would have never been listening to this type of music. You understand?
I feel like what that Robert dude was talking was, it's only the truth, because we always talk about it. We see it, bro. We actually got to see it firsthand. Now, I don't know how many of the people watching this have actually witnessed it or lived through it like we have, but where we from is really like this. Like, we got dudes on a corner trapping all day, living the life of rappers. We got the young boys now committing crimes that are giving them life sentences. It's all due to the music. It's nothing else. There is no other reason why. This is what they listen to. This is what they want to be like. This is what they look up to. And it's what they're going to follow. And, you know, we as adults and as humans, we shouldn't keep allowing this thing to happen over and over. It's getting out of hand. You know, I see little kids taking each other out. I see it all the time, and it's like, it's out of control, man. It's crazy out there.
I think that's what happens after generations and generations and generations pushes the same agenda. We eventually get to this point where, the kids love it. This is what they're expecting. If you're not doing this gangster stuff, we don't want to hear it. Going back to what I said at the beginning of this, do you think that secret meeting took place? The secret meeting that they talk about between the executives and the private prison investors that, told them to only sign gangster rappers?
Yes, because they need to keep making money. They need to keep making arrests. They need to keep having bodies drop. Think about it. We signed this dude. He's going to influence millions of kids to go out there and do something so crazy where we could go put him in jail for the rest of their life. We could put him in jail for 10, 20 years. We making money. The police department is still making arrests. The prisons are still getting inmates. It's a whole system. So I agree 100% with whatever that dude was saying on that video. I believe that meeting took place.
Just take a look around. It's not hard to see. Gangster rap has influenced so many of us. It has, and it's because we look at these guys as the superstars and we want to be them. When you want to be someone, you're influenced by the things that they do. And this is just, the record industry knows this. This is the record industry's true purpose.
Look at the other day. I'm driving my car. My phone rings. I get a call. I'm like, hello? Pick up. It's my friend that I haven't seen in 12 years. He's calling me from jail. They gave him life after an incident that occurred. And he's just calling me and he's just telling me how he misses me and how he misses his daughter, that his daughter was 3 and she's 12 now. He went in when she was 3 and how she's 12 years old now, and how he had to do so many things in there due to the fact that he's been in there so long and he's going to be in there for the rest of his life. Due to being a gangster in the street, using these substances. He was under a substance so strong at the time that he committed this crime that he didn't even know he did it. You know what I'm saying? But he wanted to be a gang member. He wanted to live that life of the streets, of what these rappers are talking about. And it landed him a life sentence.
The street life that's fabricated by record label executives. That's what is the most devastating and disturbing part of this all. The person that you're talking about, sadly, he's in prison because of a system that these men created to make money, to push an agenda, to serve Lucifer, because this is what Lucifer represents. Lucifer represents being your own God, serving yourself. Who cares who has to pay the price for being that God, for you to get what you want? They sacrificed us for their gain.
They don't even care one bit about our kids. They just care about money.
It's a fact. That's 100% true. They've never cared about us. And at the end of the day, we are the direct effect. People where I come from, when I walk through my community and I see these kids making the same mistakes that I made, the same mistakes that you made, that your friend made, they're making these mistakes happily. They're willingly destroying their lives. They're willingly throwing it away because this is the agenda. When I speak about the agenda, and a lot of people early on used to tell me, what agenda, what agenda? This is the very agenda that I'm speaking about. This agenda is not just gangster rap, but gangster rap played a very important role. Gangster rap has ruined so many people's lives and is still doing it, while the men that are benefiting from this are becoming multi-billionaires, are buying several properties off the tears of these moms that are losing their children, off the friends and families that are hurting and in pain from the people that they've lost because of this agenda. Most people don't know what's going on. They look around and they blame the kids. It's not the kids. The kids are only doing what they're being told. The kids only know what they're taught. And this is what we're being taught. This is what they have chosen to push to us. At the end of the day, we can only change it. At the end of the day, guys, this is what I'm trying to have us avoid. This is what I'm preaching against. This is what I want people to wake up and see. Gangsterism is not something that was just born in the hood. It wasn't something that was born in the Bronx. It wasn't something that was born in LA. It was created. Gangsterism was made by the industry. It was made to incarcerate us, to destroy us so that they can make money off of it. Like I always say, we must remember that every day we wake up, our souls are at stake. And we also must remember to help those who can't see the truth, find the truth. Well, that's it for this episode. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
I just wanted to give a special shout out to the Truth Movement members. I truly appreciate every single one of you. If you'd like to further support the channel, join the Truth Movement, or you can join me on Patreon where I drop exclusive videos monthly. The link would be in the description. Another way you can further support the channel is by checking out the Truthfist store and seeing if you find anything you like. Every purchase you make helps with the funding of Truth Records. The link to the Truthfist store is also in the description. Also, please leave a comment on your thoughts on this video and on any future topics you would like to see me cover on my channel. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you can be notified of future videos. If you like this video, please leave a like as it helps other people find these videos. You can also find me on TikTok and Instagram and follow me there. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.